whole way of thinking.
Hi, everyone. There's not sound yet, but we will start in a couple moments. While we're waiting to get started, can everyone make sure that their name is accurate and reflective of their preferred first and last name, so we can make sure to check you off for attendance? And to change your name, you should be able to click on, give me one moment and see how I can figure that one out for you. Just so everyone knows, this is a webinar style meeting. And so um, all the students, you won't be able to see yourself. You'll be able to see us. And we'll go over that a little bit later. And right now we're just waiting a couple more minutes. I'm waiting for Ku to join on. She's making sure that people are accessing the right links. So yes, right now we're all muted. If you do have to hop off early, please go ahead and put that in the Q&A and we'll reach out to make sure that you are counted for attendance.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon to Summer Bridge 2020. Good afternoon. So let me say this before we begin this onboarding experience. If we can all take just a moment of silence. And this is an opportunity for us to take a pause and be mindful of everything that is going on in our country today. It's COVID-19 and the disruption that has caused in all of our lives. It's the Black Lives Matter movement. And the fight for an end to injustice and brutality. It's an acknowledgement of SCOTUS's decision today to not end DACA, but it's a bittersweet acknowledgement. Sweet because a heavy burden is temporarily lifted. Bitter because we know that we have a country that does not recognize the sacrifices that our undocumented students, undocumented communities have made and continue to make to the success of this country. And so for the reason that I've asked you all to pause and to reflect on these different issues that we've been faced with as a community, as a country, because these are the communities that Summer Bridge serves. My name is Dr. Gerald Lamont Jones. I'm the Senior Director for the Center for Academic Access and Student Enrichment. On behalf of Sonoma State University, on behalf of my colleagues, on behalf of our student employees, we welcome you to Sonoma State University. We welcome you to the Summer Bridge program. Ashley.
Great. So we're just going to go over a couple of the logistics that I kind of shared at the beginning of this meeting. So our meeting is a webinar today. And so with webinar style, you are not able to see yourself. This is not going to be how many of your meetings will be during Summer Bridge. They will be meeting style, you will be able to see yourself. But for this meeting, it is webinar style. So you can see all of the staff, maybe some of the faculty that will be supporting you during Summer Bridge. So if you do have any questions, like I see many of you have entered in the Q&A box. We will get to, as best as we can, all the questions at the end of this meeting. If you do have a comment, I see the chat is going off so excitingly. Please feel free to share your majors, where you're from. We do love to see the chat go off as it is going, as it is doing so right now. If you have any logistic questions, feel free to send that in the Q&A and we'll try and get that to you as best as we can. Right now, the meeting is being recorded, and so we will be sharing this with you and making it accessible to you as soon as possible. And then I see a lot of people are having issues with connection. No worries. Just make sure you're able to at least share with us, maybe in the Q&A, that you're experiencing some issues, and we'll be able to record your attendance. Again, we would also like everyone to have their name indicative of their preferred first and last name.
All righty. So before I dive into the overview of Summer Bridge, I do want to acknowledge my staff. You know, when I started the meeting, I talked about some of the different challenges that we as a community and a country face. These are also challenges that staff face on a different level, because, and when I'm talking about the staff, I mean the faculty and I mean our student employees as well, because regardless of what has been going on, they have still showed up with a commitment and a purpose to make sure that they put together the best remote summer bridge program possible for all of you. And this has not been an easy task by any means. Think about around March 17th is when Sonoma State University decided to go to remote operations. That was converting all of the different programs, services, classes to a virtual environment. That's taken the Summer Bridge program, which has traditionally been a face-to-face residential program, and converting it to this online format. And I tell you, they have all done an outstanding job. And they've done that because they understand how important it is for each of you to not only receive the tools and resources, but to make you feel connected and know that you belong at Sonoma State University when you do start your classes in the fall semester, right? That's the whole charge here. That's our whole goal is to make sure that you successfully transition into Sonoma State University. We understand firsthand the barriers that many of you have overcome to arrive at Sonoma State University's doorsteps. Our job, our whole purpose is to make sure that the institution is not yet another barrier that prevents you from being successful. Our job is to make sure that you come into Sonoma State University and that you persist towards graduation in 4 years. That's our whole charge. That's our whole responsibility. That's why we're here today, to make sure that you have the tools, to make sure that you have the resources, to make sure that you're ready to go. That's the goal. And so if we look at one of our foundational pieces of Summer Bridge is safety, right? That we ensure that all of you are safe, that you get to be whoever it is that you are, however you show up, whoever you or however you identify, that this is a safe space for you to be able to do that. The structure, that you know that we put together a program in place that is going to give you the tools that you need to be able to successfully navigate Sonoma State University. But in order for us to do that, there has to be respect on all parts. There has to be respect. We're going to give respect the way that we communicate to you, the way that we do our programming, and the way we hold you accountable. We do you a disservice if we let you off the hook. As I said earlier, we're well aware of the different challenges that you have faced to get here. As a program, we have tried our best to mitigate those different challenges in a myriad of different ways. For those of you that don't have access to technology, whether it's Chromebooks, if you don't have access to a quiet learning environment, we got you covered. If you don't have Wi-Fi, we got you covered. I know that every single staff member on this staff, on this Zoom meeting, is going to give 100% towards you being successful. But in order for our relationship to work, in order for you to be successful, you have to also do your part. We're a no excuses, just solutions oriented program. And so if you can buy into what I'm saying, if you can buy into the work that the staff are going to display over the next 9 days, man, you're going to kill it. Communication. You will hear this ad nauseum. Communicate. If there's an issue that you're experiencing, communicate to the staff. We don't know unless you share with us. And this is an absolutely critical skill that you must have and that you must practice, not only in Summer Bridge, but in going forward throughout your career at Sonoma State University, as well as afterwards. How you communicate to others, how you interact and communicate with your professors if you don't understand material, if you need more support, if you're not able to make class because you have something going on. It all starts with how you communicate and you advocate for yourselves. And so these 4 different rubrics that we put in place, these are not just for the program, but these are things that we hope that you would hold near and dear to your heart as you navigate Sonoma State University in this world. Listen, there's going to be lots of different challenges, nothing that you haven't already experienced. There will continue to be challenges at Sonoma State University. I would ask that all of you make sure that you extend one another grace as we go through this program. There's going to be some hiccups along the way. We've never done this before in terms of putting together a remote program. This is the first time in the history that we've done a virtual program. But that has not stopped us from making sure that we have everything in place to be able to support you. And so again, I welcome you to Sonoma State University. We are excited to have you here. We're excited to support you on your journey. And understand this, that over the next 4 years, the most important thing is that you walk away with your 4-year baccalaureate degree. That's the reason why you came here. That's the reason why you applied to Sonoma State University. That's the reason why you're in Summer Bridge, to walk away with your 4-year degree. Everything else is icing. How you get involved on the campus, the different experiences that you have. All that's icing, but it's for naught if you don't complete what you came here for, earning your 4-year degree. And so everything that we do will be in that vein to push you, to guide you towards accomplishing what you've been working for since day one. And day one started, was it preschool? Is it pre-K? So this is the next step in your journey. So again, welcome to Sonoma State University and the Summer Bridge program. So at this time, I'm going to do just a real quick introduction of the staff and discuss their roles a little bit. On Monday, the first day of the program, each of the staff members will have an opportunity to introduce themselves at depth. But because of the packed agenda that we have today and a lot of information that we need to get through, I'm just gonna show pictures really quick. Right here, this is the team right here for the staff. These folks right here will be critically important to your success over the next 4 years. These are advisors. You have our Dream Center coordinator. You have our CWIL Scholars coordinator. You have our EOP staff. You have our Porta staff. You have all the different folks that are tuned in to your success. And guess what? Most, if not all, come from the exact same backgrounds as you. Many of the staff here on the screen are also former EOP students. So they already understand the challenges and they understand the barriers. But what you see in all of them is that they have also overcome those different barriers and earned their 4-year degrees, their master's degrees, their doctorate degrees, and they have a commitment to be here to serve you all. And at this time, I'll turn it over to Doctors Martha Schott and Dr. Erica Tom, and they will introduce the faculty members who are also here for your success.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Summer Bridge. Very excited to see all the energy coming through the group chat. I'm excited to introduce our reading and writing faculty. Our reading and writing faculty come from across the campus departments. So we do have faculty who are represented in communications, in the English department, American Multicultural Studies, Native American Studies, Chicano Latino Studies, and the Education Department. So all of us here that you see on this screen, you'll get to know each one of them much, much more on this coming Monday, but each one of us is committed to helping you both navigate this online system so that when you come into fall semester that's not something you're worrying about, that you've got that down, as well as helping give you an introduction to college level reading and writing.
Ashley, can we navigate back one slide? Thank you. All right, welcome everyone. I'm Dr. Martha Schott. And on the screen in front of you, there are 11 amazing faculty members, all coming from the Department of Mathematics and Statistics that are going to lead you through our quantitative reasoning program for Summer Bridge. As Dr. Tom was just saying, you'll get to know one of these faculty members super well over the next 2 weeks, but all of them on the screen are your allies on campus, as well as off campus while we're remote. So please take a look at all of these faces and know that each one of them is a resource for you throughout your career at Sonoma State. We're super excited to work with you. I do want to address, I saw some people in the chat talking about M&Ms that some of you received in the mail. All of you should receive those. So if you haven't already, just try to be patient. I know that once you hear about candy, it's hard to get off your mind. And for those of you who have your M&M bags and are tempted to eat them, remember that there should be a data sheet attached to your package. So if you cannot hold off until next week to open those up, just make sure that you're recording the appropriate data for us to use together in our class sessions.
All righty, great. So now I have the honor of talking about our Summer Bridge leaders, who are also a part of the attendees. Unfortunately, you can't see them this afternoon, but you will get to meet them in a couple of days. So we have 24 highly mature, phenomenal Summer Bridge leaders who will serve as a mentor to you and help you navigate as you're transitioning over to Sonoma State. You can see this, their awesome and funny pictures that they took. These student leaders are current students here at Sonoma State, ranging from second years to even recent graduates. Their role is really to help you connect to Sonoma State, especially now being in a remote format, to help you answer questions that you might have about campus life, about how to get involved, about the services that we offer under CASE and overall throughout campus. So I highly encourage you that when you get an opportunity to meet with them, to really utilize them as a resource to support you, in addition to your advisors, because they're currently going through the same journey that you're about to embark on. So they've gone through an intensive training a couple of weeks ago to be able to prepare to support you and to engage you within the next few days of Summer Bridge. So similar to how Dr. Jones mentioned, that level of respect is also expected that you give to our leaders, even though they are your peers and they're about a few years older than you. We expect that same level of respect towards them. So in a few weeks or in a few days, you'll find out what group you're a part of. And the Summer Bridge leaders are also eager to know who their students will be. All the student leaders have created a Instagram page for their group. So once you know what group you're in, you will get that information. You can follow their Instagram page and connect. And that'll be an opportunity for you to continue to build that community now that we're in a remote format. So I'm super excited that you'll get to know these amazing leaders. They're really inspiring human beings. They understand the challenge of being a first generation student. And so I hope you can utilize them as an amazing resource.
All righty, folks. So this, my name is Diana. I'm sorry you can't see me, but get excited because we're talking about this year's Summer Bridge theme. Every year we have the Summer Bridge leaders vote, and Nickelodeon won their hearts this year. So I know plenty of us have watched or heard of at least one Nickelodeon show. So please feel free to share your favorite Nickelodeon character in the group chat. Right now, I had the pleasure to design the Summer Bridge 2020 logo this year that will be displayed on our shirts. You may or may not have received your shirt, but don't worry, your shirt is on its way if you haven't received it yet. I had so much fun playing around with the logo. I had different ideas going, but the Summer Bridge team decided collectively that we would go with a Rugrats-inspired logo, which is colorful and it's clean and it hits the right spots with feelings of nostalgia. I used a little bit of Rugrats, a little bit of SpongeBob, because SpongeBob can be surprisingly inspirational. So keep a lookout for your Summer Bridge mailing package that will be containing your very own shirt. And then lastly, I did want to announce the Summer Bridge Nickelodeon teams. We have Team Avatar, we have Team Poof, we have Team SpongeBob, we have Ruby, Angelica Pickles, Sheen, Jade, Gorgon Von Strangle from Jimmy Neutron, Reptar, we have Team Trixie, Team Cat Valentine, Team Timmy, Team Patrick, Team Gurr, Team Cosmo, Jimmy Neutron, Rocket Power, Wanda, Blue's Clues, Cat Dog, Pearl, Gary, Sandy Cheeks, and Danny Phantom. So you'll be finding out which team you are a part of very soon, so please stay tuned. We're really excited, and we can't wait for Summer Bridge to start.
All right, this is Dr. Tom again, the lead for the Reading and Writing program. And we wanted to talk to you a little bit about expectations of the remote Summer Bridge program. So some of what we'll talk about could kind of cover all of Summer Bridge, and some of it will, be more specific to our classrooms. But I actually wanted to begin with a question, and so you can all write into the chat. So why would it be important for us to have certain etiquette or agreements for a Zoom classroom? Why would we need agreements? Why would we need to have etiquette in a Zoom classroom? I see respect. Why is that important? Anybody else? Why would we need, oh, it's all the characters still. Organization, okay. You can put your characters in. Why would it be important for us to have etiquette, to have agreements in a classroom? All right, so we have respect, organization, regulated behavior. So everyone can be clear on expectations, respect one another to ensure that everyone is being respected, respectful. Okay, so sometimes, going over guidelines, it can feel like this, restrictive thing, but really it's so that we can all learn together and we can all actually have fun while we're doing it. So someone else, Elizabeth writes in friendly environment, so we can all learn collectively while respecting each other. Organization, Jimmy Neutron, positive environment in order to have clear communication with each other. So thank you. I just wanted to I believe that you probably all know some of these expectations. What are some of these expectations? So you could even guess at some of them, right? Have fun while learning responsibly. So I bet that many of you already are going to be able to anticipate what some of these things are, but we'll go ahead and Ashley, if you want to kick forward on the slide, and please, Martha, jump in at any point. So just like this is a webinar, so a little different from our Zoom classes, but when people come into the Zoom meetings, we are going to have participants muted for background noise. So you can use the raise your hand option. And so if you've never been on Zoom before, you will get to explore that with your advisor and your instructor. And just figuring that out. So don't worry if you're like, oh, I don't know what the raise hand is. We will show you, we will talk about it, and everybody will be helping each other out, even as they are right now in the group chat, figuring things out. So we realize that you might be limited in setting up in your Zoom classroom. So for example, I have some work going on inside, and so I'm stepping outside. There's a little bit of wind, but I hope you can hear me well. It is nice to have a little bit of light just so we can see your face. So even though we are not at we're not in a physical classroom, it's a good idea to try and set up like you would in a normal classroom. So not in bed, not laying down in bed with the covers up, right, with your pillow, but actually sitting up and being ready for class. Ashley, you want to hit the next slide, please? Okay, great. So please use your full preferred first and last name when you set up your Zoom profile name. So similar to what people are doing right now, right? It's just making sure that you have that on there so that we're able to refer to you as you wish. And so over here on the right, if you're reading through the slides right now, many classroom policies do not allow cell phones in class, but some of you might be more comfortable using a phone to connect by Zoom or to complete an assignment. So this is going to be acceptable, generally speaking, for our classes. That's sort of the overarching. However, just like in college classrooms and high school classes, instructors have different expectations in their room, right? So everything might be mostly the same, but something could be a little bit different. So we really encourage you to look at, right, the syllabus, and to really to be paying attention to your advisors and whoever's running your meetings with what are the expectations that they're setting and that you as a group are agreeing on. So just down there at the bottom in the bold, it says, we may not be physically in the same room, but please treat your instructor and classmates with respect, with your attention and presence on Zoom. And so I want to make just a quick note to that, because and thank you all for, even though I can't see you, I can feel your presence right through the chat, and immediately, asking a question and getting some great responses. That's one of the ways that we show presence, right? How we engage with people. And I will share just a note is that, some of us might be in different situations where we're not super comfortable with people maybe seeing where we are. Or, something might be happening in the background, even if you have the noise canceling headphones on. So I just wanted to note for you that it's really nice for the instructors and for everybody else to just be able to see you for a moment. So even if you're in a situation where you're not going to feel really comfortable to have your video on the whole time, right, is that at the very beginning that you maybe try to show your face for a few minutes, just so that everybody can kind of feel connected, and that we also, while we want to be present and show ourselves, that we also respect people's privacies, right? And that we all are in different situations and might need to adjust. Martha, is there anything you'd like to add in?
You are doing great so far, Dr. Tom. I'm going to let you continue to lead, and I might add something at the very end.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So one more thing, or two more things, really. But something that's pretty important is that we are asking that all students, that they may not record our remote class sessions, take screenshots of live class sessions, save chats, or engage in any other activity that captures the virtual learning experiences without explicit permission from the instructor. And I would say from everybody in the room. So you all are on it, right? I mean, you all put in there, we need etiquette, we need agreements so that we can all feel comfortable to be able to learn together, to feel relaxed in order to be learning. And if we're feeling concerned that, our privacy isn't being respected and that what's happening in the room, right, isn't just for us, then it could make it harder to learn. So you all know that, you already put in the chat, right, the importance of respect as part of our learning experience. So capturing remote instruction or student services without permission violates students and faculty members' privacy rights. So y'all already know, right? But this is just laying it out really simply, just what is allowed and what is not allowed. Sonoma State, this is our number 6. Sonoma State is extremely fortunate to be composed of culturally and ethnically diverse students, and diverse in so many other ways as well. All individuals must be treated with respect, civility, and equality. Sharing ideas and beliefs is encouraged in the learning process. It's critical in the learning process, but must be facilitated with an open mind, nurturing and supportive environment. And I know that each one of our academic advisors, our staff, our faculty are all well-equipped and eager to begin this learning process with you. So it is the faculty as well as students' responsibility to create and maintain the classroom climate without exception. So we strongly believe in the idea of individual difference as collective strength and uphold these principles as a top priority in being an effective instructor and human being. We hold students accountable for the same advocacy in the learning environment. And this is where I'm clicking over to the chat here. You guys are funny. Yeah, great responses above. Have fun while learning responsibly. Your responses are already showing that you're on board, that this is not just something that Dr. Jones or just the staff or just the faculty are going to ensure, but this is all of us. Summer Bridge is all of us. So it isn't just through us telling you, right, moving through this. I didn't even have to go through all of these. You're putting it up in the chat when I just asked the question. So it's our collective responsibility that we make this a fun and safe learning environment for everybody.
That was beautiful, Dr. Tom. Thank you so much. The only thing I want to add before Erica takes over next is, so related to respect in the classroom, it's awesome to hear all of you type that into the chat as the #1 reason that we might want to have Zoom etiquette laid out. And I think a lot of the time when we think about respect in the classroom, we think about respecting everyone else, which is super important. Implicit in that respect, but something that we often don't think about, is respecting our own participation. So if you have an idea or a thought that hasn't already been shared, or that has a slightly different spin to something that's already been shared, I really want you all to lean into owning your presence in the classroom and really respecting your own viewpoints as being valuable and important to the classroom community. That's all I wanted to add. Thank you all so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, so I'm the other Erica. Nice to meet you all. So happy that you're here. And just with the reiteration of respect and understanding, making sure that we have healthy learning environments and fun collaborative environments. We do talk a little bit about cyberbullying and what that means. Specifically, how to eliminate it and how to not even have it come near our space. As we see the live chat just running rampant, which is great with a lot of positivity. One of the things that we really want to talk about are our online codes of conduct, and specifically, very simple, very straight to the point. Of course, be respectful. 2, be careful with sarcasm and humor. Remember that this is a different genre of learning. It's quite a different learning environment when we are online, and your word is you. And when you type it, that's you. It's not some weird extension of you that just kind of goes off into the ethers electronically. So make sure you mean what you say and say what you mean, all right? Definitely, I'm a fan of humor, but make sure that you have it in good taste, okay? And then number 3, no form of hate will be tolerated, including but not limited to racism, sexism, ableism, homophobia, ageism, transphobia, or xenophobia, etc. So this is a safe space, but more than that, it's a brave one, okay? Everyone here is brave and resilient, and we're proud of you, and we're excited to get to know you. With that, we want to make sure that we are always keeping that same vibe, and make sure that we're always championing one another and not hindering one another. With that, love conquers all. So just a good thing to remember. The antithesis of hate is love. So those are the things that you really want to consider and think about. 3 very simple rules, but they can absolutely change the course of the entire summer bridge and your experience at SSU in general. So make sure that you follow all of those as well during our program. And that's a stretch break, y'all. So everybody is able to, take a minute, go ahead and stretch. I will be getting to more questions in the Q&A box. Thank you so much for everybody who is sending them in. I'm responding as fast as I possibly can, but it is taking a minute. So I will get to those, and yeah, just let us know.
How long is the stretch break?
We'll be back in about 5 minutes. We're going to let the music play, and when the music's set, that's when we'll come back.
Can I just say that you are very polished? Huh?
Did everyone else hear Gerald call me very polished?
Did.
So we're coming back.
I thought I was on mute.
No.
I was not on mute.
I was like, who's he yelling at over there?
You really weren't though. And just being a teddy bear.
Yeah.
Are we ready, Ashley?
Let's give it about 10 more seconds.
Okay.
Hi, Sam. Sorry. Okay, I just got really excited. This is one of my upper bound students. I'm so happy you're here.
Sorry, Mel, give me 1 second. All right, you should be good to go.
Awesome. Hi, good afternoon, everybody. It has been so awesome seeing everyone's engagement on the chat. I don't think I have been a panelist on a Zoom this big, so I look forward to getting to know everyone, particularly those students who will be assigned to me, and we'll figure out who's assigned to what professional staff next week. But I wanted to talk a little bit about a special component in Summer Bridge. As you all know, Summer Bridge is really focused on supporting our first generation and low income students. This orientation is an extended orientation. It's 2 weeks compared to general students who get all of orientation in just 2 days. In the 2 weeks, we received a grant to support special population. All of our population is special, but we're going to be doing something kind of supplementary for our Native American and Indigenous students. During the Summer Bridge program, this is going to be an opt-in feature, so it's for students who want additional support, who identify as Native American or Indigenous or just allies of Native American and Indigenous students. And we're going to be meeting 3 times throughout Summer Bridge, one on the first day, which is Monday, once in the middle, and then once in the end. And we're meeting for just 1 hour each of those times, so an additional 3 hours from 1 to 2. During our meetings, we're just going to do more additional community building. We're going to be meeting with additional faculty. We're going to have an alumni panel. and we're going to be planning for the future and how we can continue community building and continue to get to know each other, continue to do identity work around what it means to be Native American, Indigenous, or just someone who supports that student population. I want us to imagine those additional 3 hours as like a circle of care, to be around other professionals that want to support you and ensure that you graduate on time, to make sure that you have the highest GPA as possible, and to make sure that you are retained at the university, to make sure you go from freshman year, sophomore year, to junior year, to graduation. It's a sacred space for us to meet and chat. Who doesn't want more support, especially when it's free, and especially when it's for people that really care about you? And let's see, is there anything else I forgot? No, that's it. So for those students that are interested, please get in touch with me. My name is Amel, and I'll put my email in the group chat, or my colleague, Dr. Erica Tom. We really, really care about Indigenous students and Native American students, and we want to do everything that we can to make sure that you all are well taken care of on campus. I'll hand the mic over to Dr. Tom to add more.
Thank you so much, Amel. Just second everything that Amel has shared about this opportunity to be part of a mini group as part of Summer Bridge. I just want to, I'm the Director of Native American Studies at Sonoma State, and I just want to share that, you know, our student club on campus is that we have students of all different kinds of backgrounds who are coming to this club. So I just really want to encourage you that whether you are an enrolled member of a tribe, or you have a family member who is Native American and you want to learn more about that, or it's something that you haven't really explored yet, that this group is open, it's open to everybody, and that it's an open space. And as Erica Mullican said, you know, all of this is brave space. So you don't have to be sure when you walk into the room, into our virtual room, that it's a place to care about each other, to learn and grow both, you know, academically and personally. There was one other thing I was going to add in, Amel, and I'm having a brain moment here. The one other thing I just wanted to add in, just because Summer Bridge doesn't end at the end of this program, right? End of this 9-day program. But as Dr. Schott said about the quantitative reasoning, your math faculty, is that these are people who are there with you throughout your entire college career. And so I just want to share that there's an opportunity for everybody, any student, is that we have ongoing programs that will continue past Summer Bridge. So for example, we have a Native American and Indigenous Studies reading group. This is a reading group that anybody can be a part of. And the really cool thing is you can take it for credits. So you can get 2 credits in Native American Studies to participate in a reading group once a month, where we read texts, we watch films, and we talk about them. So just coming back full circle back to the group and those 3 extra hours that we'll be spending with any students who choose to participate, is that there will be things that we'll experience here in Summer Bridge, and that there's more events and more opportunities as we go into the fall and beyond. Anything else that maybe I missed there, Amel? Anything else you want to add? Good, I'm getting the thumbs up. All right, so please let either Amel or myself feel free to reach out to us with any questions that you may have. I already shared all my Insta info, so we can connect, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I added my email in the chat, so please let us know if you're interested in participating in this additional hour of support and community building during Summer Bridge. Thanks, everyone.
Before we move on, I'd like to make a quick announcement, as I've been getting very similar questions, if not the same one, in the chat. So if you are leaving early, or if you had attended late, please email our Summer Bridge email at summerbridge@sonoma.edu to get the recording of this webinar if you have missed anything or if you have work at 4 o'clock or something rather. So just a FYI, I have it in the chat as well. So if you miss anything, please just email our summerbridge@sonoma.edu and we can get you that recording. Thanks.
Ku, are you here?
Hi, Ashley. I am here. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Would you like to start it off?
Sure. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ku Yang Vigil, and I am the EOP coordinator and also an advisor. So happy to be with you, all of you here today. Ashley and I, in this next portion, we will spend a good portion of in the next 20 minutes or so talking about our Summer Bridge schedule and Canvas course. We'll be walking you through. I know there's been a lot of questions being emailed to our Summer Bridge email. When I've been pre-enrolled in classes. When will I register? Who is my advisor? You all will find out who your advisor is tomorrow. And as we go through the schedule, we hope that this will be able to answer a lot of your questions that you have had. What does Summer Bridge look like? What are the expectations and whatnot? And so Ashley will walk us through the Summer Bridge schedule. And then I'll go ahead and walk you all through our Summer Bridge Canvas course, which all of you should be familiar with because our directed self-placement is already a part of in the Canvas course. Ashley, would you like to still, oh, okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, so let me just talk a little bit about expectations. We built this schedule with the flexibility in mind, knowing that you all have different responsibilities. You may not have that quiet space to be able to do your work. And so maybe you're up at night completing your work for Summer Bridge. And so what we'd like for you all to do is we are expecting attendance Monday through Friday for that first week, and then for that second week, Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., all right? I know that we've had students who have emailed saying, well, I work at 12:30, what do I do? Please just communicate with your Summer Bridge leaders, your advisor, and your faculty to let them know if you're not going to be attending for the live session. As Dr. Jones talked about earlier, one of our pillars is communication, and so we want to make sure that we have that open line of communication, okay? And then you'll also see that we have some items for you to complete on your own time. So anything after 1 p.m. is going to be optional. We do have some recommended live Zoom sessions for you to attend if you're available, and you also have the weekend to be able to do the work if you're working full-time over the summer, or some of you may be going on trips and whatnot. So I'll go ahead and ask Ashley to move forward with sharing the schedule with you all.
Perfect. So I already see some questions going off. Just again, to introduce myself, my name is Ashley Dates, and I'm the case administrative coordinator. So basically what that just means is I support heavily with a lot of office and day-to-day functions. And then I also have been supporting with Summer Bridge. So to answer some of those questions, will you be getting this image? This image will be shared with you through our Canvas course, which will be going through in a little bit. But we just kind of want to go through a little bit day-to-day of the overall recommended schedule. And so this schedule is kind of the ideal, what we expect y'all to complete on a day-to-day basis. And again, like who shared, we expect the participation from 9 to 1. And then after all of those sessions, after 1 will be recommended or complete on your own time. And again, you'll see certain sections on a specific day. That just means we suggest you complete those on that day. So Monday, first day, day 1, and a couple of short days, we'll be having a Summer Bridge welcome to start. You'll see all of our faces, and you'll get more acquainted with our staff. Then you will, our Summer Bridge staff, then you will go into a section with your faculty, both your reading and writing faculty and quantitative reasoning faculty, and meeting them. And then you will be going into a bridge leader breakout meeting with your summer bridge leader. After that, we will be hosting a student panel to ask all those odds and ends questions that you have for our students, and that will be an hour. Every day you'll see this one-on-one advising from 1 to 5. This will be where you will sign up with your advisor that you have been paired with to kind of talk about things that are specific to you. And so we will have time slots, and your advisors will share those time slots with you. And so from 1 to 5, you'll just drop in with us there, and we will be able to meet with you. 1 to 2, again, recommended or participation, if you feel that it applies to you, will be a Native American or Native and Indigenous cohort meetings. You'll see throughout the week that there's different cultural affinity groups that we have meetings with. So if you feel that the cultural affinity applies to you, you can go ahead and join. You'll see some staff and faculty and other students in on these meetings, there to support you and kind of guide you into that community and be able to answer any questions that you may have. On Monday, from 2 to 5, we'll have modules for a virtual tour of Sonoma State. Just again, to kind of iterate what some of these little in the parentheses mean, webinar, that's what we have for the Summer Bridge Welcome. It's again this type of style where you're only gonna see the staff. And then when you see Zoom Room, that means that you'll be seeing everyone, including yourselves. So Zoom Room is that's the Zoom meeting that we kind of discussed earlier. Where you see module, that basically means you'll complete it on your own. We have videos or PowerPoints or slides that will guide you through that information that you need to see. Tuesday through Thursday, they're all pretty similar. It will start with an online advising session with your advisor in a Zoom meeting, and you'll also be there with your summer bridge leaders. From 11 to 10 through 11:50, you'll be going through combined academic workshops or workshops with your reading and writing faculty or your quantitative reasoning faculty. Varies by day. And then 12 to 12:50, you'll go through a bridge leader breakout and with your individual bridge leader. Again, like I shared, every single day, 1 to 5, we will have drop-in advising where you will sign up with your advisor. And on Tuesday, that is our Alianza and Mecha student mixer for our Latinx community. Program-specific workshop, it is a module where it will be guided and directed videos and information that you will access. Town meetings are basically a revised version of what we did in person, where we invited people to talk about different programs and different services that we offer on campus. And so where you see town meetings, that will be different folks on campus sharing with you via video or PowerPoint information that you would need to know. And so on Tuesday, we have the Dream Center, Disability Services for Students, Seawolf Scholars, Trio, and Mesa. And you'll see these detailed. I'm not going to go too much more detail day by day, but just to save some time. But you'll get more information on what those programs are and what they mean. Wednesday, again, and Thursday, they're similar to that Tuesday schedule. So I'm going to go ahead and hop through Wednesday at the bottom. That is something that's different. That trivia, that is a time where we are expecting to build community with you all. So we're going to have some of our folks from our student involvement come and host a Zoom trivia. Completely optional, but it's another time to kind of just join in, hang out with each other, and do some trivia. And then also to reiterate, API, AFSA, and FOSSU is for our Asian and Pacific Islander student community. And so that will be on Wednesday. And so, like, again, if you want to join in on that community, feel free to do so. Thursday, again, is similar. We have our BFSA and BSU mixer for our Black and African American students to come and join in on that community. This module, Redwood Credit Union Financial Literacy, there are just a couple of different information workshops about managing budgets and learning about credit. So you'll see those. And then Meet the Majors is kind of just give you an exploration through all of our majors that are offered on campus in a module version. Friday, we will have a wellness day. We'll have a webinar workshop taking you through and showing you that, yes, college is about academics, but it is also about learning about yourself, learning about what you need to be one and peace with yourself. And so we do also have importance on wellness, mind, body, and spirit. So wellness workshop that morning instead of an online advising session. And then here, these are recommended workshops. We do strongly encourage everyone to join in and attend these degree and GE overview and Hutchins degree overview. Hutchins is a specific school, and you'll learn a little bit more about that once you go through the Meet the Majors module, but that will be from 2 to 3. In our second week, similarly to the first 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, are pretty similar to those other days. On Monday, for our cultural affinity group, we have QFSA and QSA, which is our queer faculty, staff, and allies group. So join in on that for community. And then we also have another financial aid workshop that is a recommended session, and it will be hosted from 2 to 2:50. Tuesday, similar items. So I'll breeze through over to Wednesday. So Wednesday is our registration day, and that is the day that you'll be registering for classes. So you will start with that online advising session, and then you'll go into advising with your bridge leader and with your advisor to talk about some of those tools that you need to be successful when registering for classes. And then starting from 2 to 4, that is when you will register. And the last day, we will commence with an online advising session. Again, another last combined academic workshop with both the quantitative reasoning and reading and writing faculty. One last bridge leader breakout to see your bridge leader. And we will close with a summer bridge closing webinar from 1 to 3. We will end with one-on-one advising from 3 to 5 for those last minute questions that you may have. And that kind of concludes our 9 days for summer bridge.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Ashley. So I will go ahead and share my screen with you all so that you can see what the Summer Bridge Canvas course looks like. And I know there are questions in the chat saying I don't have access, and right now we have not published the Canvas course live yet. You all will see it live tomorrow at 5 p.m. We've set it to show you all. So I'm going to just walk you through how do I access my Summer Bridge Canvas course. So here is the main SSU website. Go ahead and log in, put in my credentials, and then I will click here on the Canvas tile app here, which will take me to the platform for Canvas. So I'm going to go down over here to the left-hand side and click on courses. And you should be able to see your Canvas course once it goes live. So you'll see that it will be, let's say I am the advisor for cohort 5. My students will see the Summer Bridge 20 cohort 5. So that will be your class. So I'll go ahead and click here for, this is the master shell. So this is what our Canvas course will look like. I'm going to share with you just what the student view will look like for you all, okay? So we have a welcome to Summer Bridge. Click here to get started. This is our welcome from CASE, the purpose of Summer Bridge, and what is CASE. And we also want to note that for our students and individuals who need accommodations for Summer Bridge, please do contact our Department of Disability Services for Students as soon as possible. So we have that listed here so that you know who to contact if you do need accommodations. You can choose to go ahead and click next so we can go to the next feature. We will have, like what Ashley just shared with us, we have our Summer Bridge 2020 schedule listed here so that for those folks who are big picture and want to see the full Summer Bridge program, you do have it here. And then we have a Seawolf Living photo contest and Zoom backgrounds. I'm going to ask my colleague Ricky just to share a little bit more about what the Seawolf Living photo contest is. Ricky?
Yeah, so you're going to be getting, once you have access to Canvas, I highly encourage you to visit the website, but Seawolf Living is a department here on campus that does a lot of just like student engagement and a lot of school spirit. Follow them on Instagram if you haven't already at Seawolf Living. They didn't pay me to do that, but follow them. But they're collaborating with us to do a photo contest during Summer Bridge. And the last day to enter is July 8th. And basically, we want to see your SSU pride. If you, which many of you, or all of you will be getting your t-shirts in the mail. You can post a picture on Instagram. You can do a TikTok if you'd like. But basically showing off your pride during Summer Bridge and tagging Seawolf Living. And you can, like I said, click on the link and you'll get all the details in there. But basically what they're going to be looking for is the most creative posts, and then you can enter to win some Sonoma State gear, all free, and then you'll get that delivered to you by mail. So your Summer Bridge leaders will be connecting with you on how to essentially do this contest, but yeah, just connect with them if you have any other questions. Oh, and also they have created Zoom backgrounds, which you can see it back there. You see some of us have some Zoom backgrounds. You can save them onto your desktop and then use them during your Zoom meetings. So, you know, if you want to kind of just get into that Seawolf spirit, feel free to do that. There's some pretty cool, fun ones. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Ricky. Exciting. Alrighty, so I'll go ahead and click on next. So we do have a frequently asked questions for our students. So we wanted to make sure that we provided guides and answers to your questions. And so we do have our general Summer Bridge frequently asked questions, student e-tools and resource guides for Zoom, Zoom, Canvas, making online presentations, Usia, uploading media, creating videos and whatnot. And we have one of our Summer Bridge leaders, Leanda Calfee, who created this Zoom how-to tutorial, which we've embedded here on how do you access Zoom in the different ways, the different features that Zoom offers. Okay, so is a resource for you all as students. So let me go back here just to home so you can see with this big picture we have the different modules. So we have the Welcome to Summer Bridge, we have the different student resources, we have a Meet Your Summer Bridge Leaders. So our bridge leaders have put into this Google slide a little bit about them. So we have Alex Grandison as our first bridge leader on this slide, a little bit about Alex, Alex's Instagram handle and the involvement on campus. So that's pretty neat just to share with you all. Go through and get to learn more about our bridge leaders. And then we have a specific section on interested in a career in teaching from our Porta and School of Education partners. There's videos and presentations, PowerPoints that you can read through so that you can learn more about teaching, a career in teaching, okay? We have financial aid resources. We will be walking you all through a financial aid budget worksheet. We'll have an optional financial aid 101 workshop where we have our financial aid representatives who will present on getting to know more about financial aid. And so we did put the resources here. And for students who don't know how to access their financial aid award letter, we do have a tutorial video here for you to watch to help guide you there. And then next, we also have registration resources. I'll go ahead and just click here for the registration resources. Again, for students who've taken AP, IB, or a community college coursework, we do have a sheet here. The general education pattern, your pattern, particularly for the class of coming in for fall 2020, and this links to a website. And then we also have a Meet the Majors module that you all will be doing on the particular day, which will introduce you to the different majors on campus, the requirements, the first year advising guide, what are the classes that you'll need to take, recommended classes that you need to take for your first year. And we will also have a GE overview and degree overview presentation so that you all can learn more about that as well. And then next, the last section for our student resources is need help. We understand that you may need help during Summer Bridge. And so we have a Summer Bridge Zoom link that will be live from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and then from 1 to 5 p.m. Where you can get assistance. And so if you need immediate assistance, you can email our Summer Bridge at sonoma.email. Both Ashley and Jesus will be monitoring that email, or you can join us during our live Zoom drop-ins, okay? So there is that information here so that you know who can I contact if I'm having any issues or concerns, okay? So past the student resources module, we have our different specific programs. So EOP, if you want to learn more about EOP, learn more about the EOP services at SSU, go ahead and click here. Great in Rancheria, you want to learn more about Great in Rancheria, go ahead and click in this section. Same thing for Porta. If you'd like to learn more about Porta, then you can click here and learn more about Porta. And then we have all the different days outlined for you all. So we have day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and going all the way until day 9. And so just go ahead and click on day 1 and also show you all day 2, since day 2 is indicative of what the majority of Summer Bridge will look like. So for day 1, oh, I can't see day 1 because it's locked. So I'm just going to leave the student views just so that you all can see what that day 1 looks like, okay? So here's day 1. And similar to the outline that Ashley was sharing with you all earlier, we've broken it down to each day. So we have our Summer Bridge Welcome on Monday. Here's the Zoom link. I know there's questions about, will we receive the Zoom links? Yes, they are going to be in here. And as you can see, each different cohort will have a different Zoom link for their academic cohort section and also for their online advising section. So we are still inputting the Zoom links in there. And same thing for our Bridge Leader breakouts. We'll have a student panel where our student leaders will share their, as a student, share tips with you all, and you all can ask them questions. And then we have our optional meetings here. We have our Native American student cohort meeting from that 1 to 2 p.m. with the Zoom. And then we have our 101 advising drop-ins where you'll be meeting one-on-one with your Summer Bridge advisor. And then we have the complete on your own time. So complete on your own time, we have our virtual tour of Sonoma State, you know, some websites linked in here. And then we have our day 1 of quantitative reasoning and reading and writing homework for you all. So to let you all know, for the Canvas, we are going to be rolling out each week. And so when we go live tomorrow on Friday, you'll be able to see the full first week, okay? And then on Friday next week, we will roll out the second week, so on Monday through Thursday. So that for those of you who need to plan ahead, you have access to that and know what will be upcoming. Okay, so day 2, here's just another example of day 2. So we have that online advising session. The Zoom link will be embedded in there. The combined academic workshop session, the Zoom link will be embedded in there as well. We have the quantitative reasoning from 11 to 11:50 a.m. So I'm going to just click here so that you all can see what does that look like, right? So we have a topic introduction to data collection, discuss it, where you'll have the Zoom link available there, and then complete on your own time your homework. All right, so just go back here. Again, Bridge Leader Breakout, our cultural affinity groups, and then our advising 101 meeting times. And those meeting times will be roughly 20 minutes to 30 minutes. And that's your time that you'll be able to connect with your advisor 101 so that you can ask questions pertaining to your situation and your concerns. And then we have our complete on your own time EOP program specific. Put the program specific information you click on here and it'll link you back to our different modules. And then we have our campus partners, videos from campus partners, so complete on your own time, watch it, from DSS, and we've captioned all the videos here for our students for accessibility. And we have our Dream Center, MESA for students who are in the School of Science and Tech, the support that you will receive from School of Science and Tech and MESA. CEVO Scholars are students who are former current foster youth. And we have TRIO student support services. So there's a lot of great content that we have here in the Summer Bridge Canvas course. And again, homework listed there. So this is just a snapshot of what this looks like for our Canvas course. And I hope that this helps to answer and alleviate some of the questions and concerns. And I will just do one more day. Wednesday, July 1st, which is registration day, since that is a little bit of a different day there. The focus is on registration. So we have online advising in a classroom setting as a cohort, and then the 101 advising time where you can connect with your advisor. And we'll also have our Hutchins advisors and our science and tech advisor who will be available to help support students who are in those majors as well, okay? And then we have our different registration lab times here. And yeah, so tomorrow when it goes live at 5 p.m., please, take the time to look at that first week, go through the content. If you want to jump ahead and get some stuff started already, then feel free to do that, watch the videos and whatnot. I hope this was informative, and I will go ahead and kick it back to Ashley.
I'm bringing up the PowerPoint. Give me a moment.
And as Ashley gets that, there's a question. So everything we need is on Canvas. Yes, that's the intent, that we wanted to keep everything simple, and we wanted to have a place where we held everything. And so everything is on that Canvas course. Awesome.
Great. So we'll go and pass it over to Jesus Garcia Valdez.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Jesus Garcia Valdez. I really hope that you're having a great time. I just wanted to remind you, when you registered for Summer Bridge, when you completed the Summer Bridge registration part 1, and when you completed it, and even part 2, we asked what other resources did you need, or were you going to need, in order for you to successfully complete Summer Bridge. So we, thank you so much for those who share your needs. We went ahead and mailed out the first set of laptops early this week. They should be arriving to your door hopefully early next week. I want to say no later than Tuesday. Laptops, that was the first thing that we shipped out. If for some reason you have a borrowed laptop from a school, or you have a laptop and it breaks and you need a computer when Summer Bridge starts, please send an email to summerbridge@sonoma.edu, and we'll make sure that we get those to you as soon as possible, or within a timely manner for you to complete Summer Bridge. We'll be shipping the noise cancellation headphones hopefully by tomorrow, so they could get to you over, hopefully early next week. And then also for those of you who need hotspots, that don't have internet or don't have reliable internet, we will be sending those in as soon as possible as well. So just stay tuned if your needs change. If you now need a computer, noise cancellation headphones, or a hotspot, feel free to please send an email to summerbridge@sonoma.edu, and we'll make sure that we get your needs accommodated as soon as possible. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat box, or send them to summerbridge@sonoma.edu. So we sent those out this week, at least the laptops. So how will you be returning it? So for returning equipment, towards the end of Summer Bridge, I'll be communicating with you all, for those of you who requested equipment or borrowed equipment, and we'll be providing you instructions as to how to return your equipment, laptops, the headphones and the hotspots. That way, we could get them in a timely manner. So when you go off to summer, you pretty much have everything, returned to us, and there's nothing that will be, charging you in the future. To what else? I think that's pretty much it. Do you all have any questions? I'll be here in the chat, but I think that's pretty much it in regards to the different things that we sent you, returning, and then also if you need accessibility, please feel free to also send an email to summerbridge@sonoma.edu, and we'll make sure that we go ahead and support you with whatever needs that you may have. All right.
Jesus, can I add that if they don't have a dedicated laptop, for example, they're sharing with other members in the household, please reach out to you so that we can get their own device to use.
Yes. I do have to listen a little bit, Monkey.
Perfect.
No,
Yes.
you don't have to leave me alone.
Thank you, Dr. Jones. Yes, if you don't have a laptop, if you share a laptop, we don't want you to be fighting for time. If you share a laptop, go ahead and send us an email. I'll be working with you for you to fill out the official request form. That way we could send those out to you as soon as possible as well. So if that's your case, after this onboarding, feel free to send an email. That way we could send those out as soon as possible. Thank you. Any questions, please put them in the chat box.
Alrighty, so next we have a guest presenter here today, Noelia Franzen, who is also an EOP alum. And so Noelia is here to talk about the Read and Write program that the university has that students and staff and faculty can access. Noelia, thank you for joining us.
Hello, I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Yes, okay, great. And let me share my screen just to get all set up. It says it'll stop other people sharing their screen. So here we go. And actually, let me share my whole screen, because sometimes you know how you're moving from one, you're moving from one software piece to another. Let's see, I think it's preventing me now. Oops. Okay. Now it's preventing me from sharing. Can you hear me? Yeah, it's preventing me from sharing for some reason now. Oh, here we go. I got it. Got it. Okay, perfect. Okay. And just get fixed. I have a few pieces of software here that I have to get lined up. All right, let me go into presenter mode. Okay, and here we go. Okay, All right, so today I'm going to talk about some study and research hacks with Read and Write. And I'm Noelia Franzen. I'm the Senior Accessibility Coordinator with DSS. And DSS is Disability Services for Students. Our website is web.sonoma.edu/DSS. We provide accommodations based on functional limitations for students. And also, we promote universal design and accessibility. And we know that we have all types of learners. So we recognize neurodiversity and that we're all going to learn in a variety of ways. So today we're going to go over a tool that helps diverse learners. At the beginning of the semester, you're going to get loads of books, and you're probably going to throw up the books in the air. How am I going to keep up with all my reading? It's tons. And so don't put your head in the sand. This is my little dog Luna here. Don't put your head in the sand. And what I want you to do instead, look at the landscape of all your studies. What's going to need more time, and also how you're going to approach studying. So we're going to make the most of our study time with Read and Write, and that's a tool that I'm going to go over. Read and Write is a toolbar that you can add to your Chrome browser. There's also a downloadable version so that you can install it onto your computer. But today I'm just going to cover the Chrome version. I want to make sure that I'm seeing what's going on in the chat just in case. So you have a toolbar that has a lot of tools that help you interact with your readings. Readings that you're going to find on Canvas, that you're going to find on the internet, readings that for research that you might be looking for in the library. So you can use this toolbar to interact with those readings and make the most of your time and make the most out of them. Read and Write works with web pages, Canvas pages, Google Docs, Google Drive, MS Word, PDFs, and you're going to get a lot of PDFs probably, EPUBs, digital books, and more. So some of the Read and Write study hacks that we're going to cover today is being able to take your PDFs or take your Canvas pages and listen and follow along to the assigned readings on your computer or tablet or whatever devices you're using. Also, you're going to be able to highlight and collect quotes and facts so that you can prepare for tests and research papers. You're going to be able to type papers using your voice. You're going to be able to convert text pages to MP3 files that you can add to a playlist, upload it to your iPhone or whatever device you use for listening to your music. And then lastly, you can also use it to translate words in whatever text that you're reading. And Read and Write works with Chrome, with Windows, with different Apple products, and with Android. So we're going to go again over the Chrome version right now. So for the Chrome extension, you can follow along with me at another time or review the video that I'm going to provide later that has, it's a shorter version of this presentation. But what you would typically do is you would just go to Google and you would search for Read and Write, Google Chrome extension, and then just add that to your Google Chrome. What you need to make sure is that you're using your Sonoma State your Sonoma State Google account when you're logging in. That way you have the full version of the tool. We want you to be successful, so we want you to have the full version of this tool. Okay. All right, so I'm going to move on to actually demo the tool. Okay, so let me just check the questions so far, just in case you're not hearing me or you're not seeing me here. Okay, all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to an online textbook. Sonoma State, for some of the classes, you might have some free textbooks. Some of them are online. Some of them are going to be in PDF formats. Other times, they're going to be in an EPUB digital format. In this case, this textbook is actually online. And what I'm gonna do, I've already added my read and write toolbar. There's a button that looks like a purple puzzle piece. I'm gonna click on that and it's gonna display the toolbar. So I have all these tools to choose from. And if I hover over any of the tools, it'll tell me what that tool does. So for example, here, play, it'll play the text. I have the audio maker. This one plays, creates MP3s. And then we have these highlighters. So I'm gonna start with the highlighters, then I'm gonna come back to the book. So in some cases, for your classes, you might want to highlight your book. And if you select a highlighter color, and you're reading your book, you can select some text. So here's plasma membrane. I'm gonna highlight it with yellow. And then maybe there's another term further below. They're talking about receptors. So I'm gonna need to know about receptors over here. I'm gonna highlight receptors. And then I'm also gonna highlight some information about those receptors in biology. So surface receptors and membranes create changes in the interior, such as changes in enzymes. So let's say maybe I'll highlight this. And then there was something about receptors and viruses. So viruses evolve to exploit receptors. So you might be hearing about something like this right now with COVID-19, about some of the receptors and how viruses may interact with them. So I'm gonna just use one more color. So here's pink. Maybe I'll use pink for other information. Maybe the teacher might ask me on a test about certain scientists. So I wanna make sure I know the names and maybe what models they had discovered. Okay, now that I've highlighted my text, then I'm gonna collect all of my highlights with this tool. I'm gonna click on the color wheel that you saw. Let me actually go back. I'm gonna click on the color wheel that you saw on the toolbar, and I'm gonna click OK. It's gonna port over to my Sonoma State Google Docs. It's gonna collect all my highlights. So guess what? Now I'm ready for that test, or I'm ready to start that paper. So it collected everything that I highlighted, and now I can start just studying for, focusing on studying for my test. I've collected maybe all the definitions or examples for a test, methods that are described for the test. And then if I'm using instead for researching a paper and starting to write the paper, here I am in Google Docs. Once I've collected my highlights, and then I can go further down the page and select the headset with the microphone. And with this headset, it's gonna start typing out my paper. So if I don't wanna use, I'm not the best typist, I'll tell you the truth. So I'll just start stating what I want Google Docs to start writing out for me for my paper. And it could just be an outline or ideas, but here it goes. So that's another thing that you can do with this tool. I'm gonna go back to the book. So here's a book. I want to clear this, so I'm going to refresh. The other thing that it does, since sometimes your eyes may get tired from reading online, or some folks prefer to listen to books instead of actually reading, or other of you might want to follow along a reading. So I'm going to turn my toolbar back up for read and write. Then I'm going to tell it where to start reading. So I'm going to select some text just to help it get started here. And I'm going to play.
A cell's plasma membrane defines the boundary of the cell and determines the nature of its contact with the environment. Cells exclude some substances, take in others, and excrete still others, all in controlled quantities. Plasma membranes enclose the borders.
You also have other tools that you can use. So you can select a word. You have a dictionary. Another thing that you can do, if you speak another language and you're more familiar with scientific language in another language, then you can select a word and translate. Membrana here. Also, what you have available to you, if you want to convert this to an MP3, you can select all your text or whatever text you want to use to convert to an MP3, then select the headset with the paper. And what it's going to start doing, it's going to generate an MP3, which it's going to download. And you can add that MP3 to your iPhone. Or you can add that MP3 to some playlists that you have so that when you're working out, you're listening to your reading. Okay, now I'm gonna head back again, turn on my toolbar. And then another thing, sometimes I get overwhelmed, I don't know about you, but I get overwhelmed with how much text there is on a page. So there's this screen masking button. If I click on that, it will essentially brighten up the area so that I can follow along the reading and I ignore the other darker areas. And that way I can focus where my eyesight's gonna follow when I'm reading. Now I'm gonna turn off that tool. So you have this and many other tools on the actual toolbar. But I just wanted you to get started with these. So I'm gonna go back to my presentation, so give me a moment. So for this tool, here we go. And let me go back to present. So again, you can use this tool when, if you log into your Chrome using your Sonoma State account, you add it as an extension in Chrome. You'll get that toolbar, the purple puzzle piece, you just click it, and then you'll get the toolbar to use. And try this in Canvas. You're gonna be able to use this with your Canvas pages, even your email. If you don't wanna read your email and you're too tired, you can have it read the email back out to you. And you can download the full program to your computer from bit.ly/GSS how-to. And I'll put these in the chat box, these associated links. And also other extensions you can add to Chrome are the screenshot reader. It'll read a picture that has text in it. Sometimes your professors will give you PDFs that have not been processed sufficiently, so you actually have to use a screenshot reader for that. And then there's also the text PDF reader. So you can open up a PDF and you can actually annotate, you can highlight. So you can do all those things. So while you're studying these PDFs, you're just, again, just making sure that you're getting the essential information that you need so you don't have to read the entire thing again and you prepare for your test or the paper that you're researching. And then Equatio is to make math accessible. You can even read out math formulas and it'll write them out for you. And lastly, with Google Drive, you have an EPUB reader. The EPUB reader works with also the read and write toolbar. So it'll reveal a read and write toolbar so you can navigate through that EPUB or digital text. Other free software from Sonoma State University for students can be found at bit.ly/SSU my apps. And I'll also put those links in the chat box in a moment. But that's also available. There's a lot of software available. This might be some of it, but Read and Write, as you see, is one of those software programs that you can download from there. And there's other software that you're gonna find, including, there's gonna be Microsoft Office. So you're gonna wanna visit that page. And I just wanna say, please keep in touch with DSS with us. And if you want to follow us on Instagram at SSU Disability Services. And if you want to learn just more about our services and what we do, don't hesitate to contact us. We even have a chat box on our website and you can just chat some questions. So I'll stop here and take some questions. And Ku, I'll share the shorter version of the video with you so you can post to Canvas.
Thank you, Noelia. Perfect. And Noelia, I think there's a question. If you're using a Chromebook, you can find the app in the Chrome Web Store. Or I think that was sharing. Yes. Thank you for sharing, Aiden.
Yes, you can find that in the Chromebook App Store as well.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Noelia, and sharing this information. I will go ahead and share the video that Noelia will provide via email and also onto our Summer Bridge Canvas course page. Perfect. Awesome. All righty, go ahead and kick it off to Jesus with some reminders.
Yes, hello everyone again. I know we're getting closer to the end. I just want to provide you some reminders as we're getting, as we are getting started for Summer Bridge. Just FYI, Housing sent out a housing survey. I want to say that was last week, and you had to submit it by the 15th. If you have not done so, please go ahead and do it as soon as possible. Tomorrow morning, Housing will go ahead and run the report again, and I'll be connecting with those students who did not complete it. They just want to know, given the circumstances, they just want to know based on what's going on, if you're still planning to live on campus. If so, please go ahead and complete the survey. If you're not planning to live on campus for a fall semester, but you want to switch over your enrollment for your fee deposit for spring, you're able to do so in that survey. So make sure that you do it as soon as possible. If not, you'll be hearing from me over the weekend. So that's the housing survey. Please complete it by today. Also, just a friendly reminder, July 10th is the last day for you to submit your final official high school transcript. This is any transcript. This could be high school and or community college. If you've taken any community college classes, please make sure that you send your official final transcript to Office of Admissions, to Sonoma State's Office of Admissions. You can find the address at admissions.sonoma.edu. Or go ahead and send me a text message, and I'll be more than happy to share with you the actual address for you to send your transcripts. They accept two types of transcripts. It's an electronic version that your school, if they have the parchment service, they're able to send that transcript to the university electronically, and also will be considered official, or it will be the traditional style, which it will be mailed into the university. If they give it to you, please do not open it if it's sealed, because once you break the seal, it's no longer official. So please make sure that if most high schools, they go ahead and mail those out to the different universities. If they give it to you personally, go ahead and just get the address and send it to the admissions office as soon as possible. The deadline is July 10th. Also, this is going to be continuous, but I've been stating this. If there's a change of grades or schedule, or there was a change of grades or schedule for spring 2020, meaning that you did not pass an A through G course and you're no longer admissible, please make sure that you communicate with me as soon as possible. Go ahead and send me an email to, I'll put in my chat box, garciavj@sonoma.edu. We'll be able to work something out with you. If you're no longer, if you did not pass your Spanish class or your foreign language class or your art class, whatever it is, feel free, go ahead and send me an email. We'll make sure that we do everything we can to keep you at Sonoma State. The sooner we find out, the better. That way we could formulate a plan. But, I cannot read minds, unfortunately. So, even if you got a D, if you did not pass the class, we're able to work things out with you in the university, but you have to let us know. Okay. And also, before I go from here, if you still have to-do list items on my SSU, please make sure that you get them done as soon as possible. If you have any documentation, any CSU residency questionnaires, any AB 540 documentation, any documents, please get those sent ASAP. If you need support, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to support you with those documents. Okay? Well, thank you so much again. I will still be here in the chat. If you have any questions, go ahead and just, shoot me a text message. You've got my number, my Google number, or you could go ahead and also email the Summer Bridge email. I'll be more than happy to address your questions. Thank you, you all.
Thank you, Jesus. So I put into the chat just the housing website. And so the question was, how do I access my housing survey? And also, if you're planning on living off campus, you do not need to fill out that survey. But yes. I'll have Jesus answer that.
Yes, and also you please transition from your personal email to your Sonoma State email. The way you access it, you log into sonoma.edu. You put in your credentials. In there, it's going to be, it's going to say email. Click on it. If you have not activated it, please make sure that you do so as soon as possible, because moving forward, will no longer be you sending communications to your personal. Everything's going to be to your SSU email. And your the housing survey was sent to your SSU email as well. Thank you, Coop.
Thank you. So we're going to transition to Q&A. I know that we had, have our onboarding until 5, and so Erica Mullican did a wonderful job of answering questions in our Q&A. Is there any last-minute questions that we can answer in these couple of minutes? And then also we wanted to take a group picture. I know we are in our webinar right now. However, I'll put into the link in the chat for you all to join us in our Zoom room so that you can take a group picture of our Summer Bridge onboarding. And there was a request from our Summer Bridge leaders to be able to connect with you all face-to-face via the Zoom room. And so that will be an opportunity for our students to connect with our Bridge leaders and for us to take a picture. Any questions? And I'll let Erica take the Q&A.
So for those questions, go ahead and raise your hand and then we will unmute you.
So just to start off, I think we should start with some of these questions that I wasn't able to. I have about 3 here regarding financial aid, or not financial aid, housing. So if you request a refund for your housing deposit, will you still be able to live on campus during the spring semester?
The answer will be no. You would have to pay your housing deposit. In your survey, you could let the housing department know that you wanted to transfer your housing deposit from fall to spring semester. So you're able to do that using the survey that they sent to you via email.
Okay, and our next question, how do you get a housing deposit refund?
Using the same link, you could go ahead and just cancel your housing needs for either the fall or the entire year. So using the same link, they'll ask you if you plan to cancel your lease agreement or your housing. That way they could refund your either $300 or $100 housing deposit that you paid.
Great. Where do we mail our transcripts? Anybody want to take it? Okay.
For mailing transcripts, it's going to be directly to the admissions office. I'll go ahead and add the link there, but just go to admissions.sonoma.edu and then stay on track. You're going to click on the first year student. And in there, it has a timeline. You go by the date, July 10th, and it has the address right in there. I'll go ahead and add the link there, but that's where you'll be able to do it.
Okay, so are all courses going to be held via Zoom meetings? Now, with that question, for Summer Bridge, our academic and faculty courses will be held via Zoom. Now, if you're talking about learning remotely during our fall semester, currently at this time, yes, the majority of our classes will be remote. So they will be via Zoom. Let's see, what if I can't access my SSU email? So if you can't access your SSU email, they should contact the IT help desk. So IT help desk is pretty much where you want to go for all your technical needs when it comes down to accessing your email, something happens to your laptop, whatnot. So absolutely make sure that you are contacting them. We can put their email in the chat and their phone number, so you can go ahead and give them a contact. They can help you access that and get any of the kinks worked out there.
One thing that I want to add, Erica, is if you're using Google Chrome, one thing that I've been seeing, a lot of students have been logged into your personal or your high school account. When you're trying to log in, you'll access your Sonoma State email. Make sure that you search on incognito mode or the private mode. That way you're able to, you're not, your new window, it's not linked to any Google account, because your Sonoma State email account, it is a Gmail account.
Right. So another way you can also do that is by going up to the top right corner of the computer, and you can just hit sign out. So where you have your little icon where it shows either your initials or your picture, you can just hit sign out or add account. Okay, and you can go ahead and add your SSU email there, and that way you can toggle between your SSU and your personal if you'd like. Okay. So will we get the same help if we stay home and do our online classes? Example, tutors, etc. So the answer is yes. During your fall semester, we do have plenty of resources and wonderful people who can help you. We have one of the programs within CASE, our TRIO. So TRIO, United for Success in Math, which help with writing and math tutoring specifically with our expert tutors. That is a program that you can see if you qualify for and sign up for. We also have the Writing Center at Sonoma State, the Learning and Writing Center at Sonoma State, LARC, which actually has, the Writing Center has tutorial support this summer. So if you're interested in signing up for that as well, you can utilize their services. We have plenty of tutors that can help you online and whatnot, and along with many other programs. So there's many other benefits and whatnot, resources that will be all online. So not to worry there. Let's see. See you later, Patty. Thanks for showing up. Let's see, I have to get going. Okay, wonderful. Bye, Owen. How do we change the information we provided? I recently changed my number and I need to change that, but I am not sure how. So how does someone change their number on their MySSU account?
Answer that, Erica. One, if you've changed your phone number, please go ahead and email us at the summerbridge@sonoma.edu so that we can update our information on the back end for Summer Bridge. Now, if you would like to change it on your SSU student account, when you log into your student account and you go into your portal, you'll be able to see your classes for fall semester. There'll be different tabs. And so there'll be a tab that will say general information, where click in there and then you can change your mailing address, your permanent address, your cell phone, your home phone, your personal email address. And so we can have a bridge leader. Once we have your bridge leader identified and your advisor, we can help support you in making that change.
Thank you, Koo. Okay, great. So what if you submit the housing survey and requested a refund, but still want to live on campus during the spring?
Sorry, what was the question again?
So the student's question is that they had requested a refund already for housing. However, they're interested in living on campus in the spring semester, not the fall.
So if they already requested a refund, they have to get in contact with REACH, with the housing department, and they will give them the necessary links for them to go ahead and make the payment. Make sure that when you let them know, you let them know that if you're either a part of EOP or Puerta, because you get a lower deposit. So when you reach out to REACH, to the housing department, let them know, hello, my name is so-and-so, I'm part of EOP or Puerta, and I want to pay my housing deposit for spring 2020, and I'm a first-year student.
Thank you, Jesus. And let's see this question. When will we know if we have secured a dorm on campus or not?
That is an amazing question, and that's the reason why they're having students complete this survey, because Sonoma State has really limited housing or limited spacing. So they need to know, a lot of students, when you paid your deposit, it was a bundle deposit. So you paid your enrollment reservation deposit as well as your housing deposit. But obviously with everything that's going on, they're giving you an option if you wanna live on campus or off campus, stay home for fall or live on campus. So they just need to get more clear numbers or more clear data. So that's the reason why they need that information. So the sooner we get that information, that survey completed, the sooner we'll be able to confirm whether or not we'll have a space for you in the fall, or in the fall or spring, depending what your needs are.
And can I add that one of the staff members from CASE will be sitting on a housing committee to help make sure that our students that really need to be on campus do get selected. So stay tuned for more information around that.
Great. If our school changed to pass or fail, will letter grades still matter for SSU?
If the school change to pass or credit, it will not. This will help those students who did, D is giving you credit, D is passing for high school. However, because of everything that's going on, the admissions office at SSU is switching how, or definitely updating their methods of how they review final transcripts. So obviously that's going to help the students if if the school went from credit to no credit. But if there are any issues with your transcript or with your admissions, if they're trying to take it away from you, if they're trying to resend your admissions to SSU, you're not alone. European Portal I will be there to help you with every step of the way.
And what day are transcripts due?
July 10th.
July 10th, okay? So those official transcripts in. How do I activate my SSU email? So students should have received an email to their personal account saying what their login name is, correct? Yes. Yes, so you should have received that in your personal email. With that, you go to SSU, or you go to sonoma.edu, and then you hit the login button. From the login button, it will show, there will be underneath, it says instructions on what you need to do in order to activate that account. And you will create a password, and then from there you'll be able to log in and you'll see your different tiles. So they're called tiles, and you'll see that you can access your SSU email, you can access your My SSU account, you can access Canvas and things like that, okay? Let's see. Okay. How does disbursement work? I'm assuming this is about financial aid. Let's see. Oh, sorry, I'm losing track of everything. Okay. Where are we at? How does disbursement work? Do we pay first and then the award letter will be sent electronically? Because I saw that the calendar date doesn't match up with the date we have to pay for school. So I'm assuming that this question is asking about when payment is due, but also disbursement. So I'm a little bit confused on where we're going with that. But I don't know. Jesus, do you think maybe you can make heads or tails of that? I don't really.
So the way it works, you'll go ahead, you could jump in if needed, but the way disbursements work is, let's say that you're getting financial aid, you're getting $15,000 of financial aid of free money from the government. And let's say that you owe the university $13,000 for tuition and your tuition and fees and housing. So the way it will work is they'll pretty much process all the payments and cover the university's fees. And then if at the end you have money remaining in your account, they'll go ahead and send you a refund check or send it to your bank directly through direct deposit. Or let's say that's one way, or the other way, let's say that you're only getting $10,000, but you owe the university $12,000. Then the university will pay the $10,000, credit it to your account, and then they'll ask you to pay the remaining $2,000, either through loans or if you have a scholarship. You let them know if you have a scholarship coming in and it's going to help you cover that unmet need. Please send an email to the financial aid office and also Seawolf Services. That way they could make a note on your account and they don't drop you from your classes. So once again, if you're getting a scholarship and it's gonna help you cover your unmet need, send an email to financial aid and Seawolf Services for them to make a note on your account.
Great, thanks, Jesus.
And can I also add, we will, as advisors, walk you all through these questions and we'll work with you during Summer Bridge. And so please know that this will not be the only opportunity in time for you to ask your questions. We do go in thoroughly to support our students and make sure that you all know the processes and whatnot. And I just wanted to answer that question of, do we pay our tuition and fees now and then? Please don't pay, because our students who have financial aid award packages, you will, Sonoma State will look to see, okay, this student has a financial aid package. We're not going to disenroll them from classes. And so please don't pay. I've had students do that before. And so I know that's a hardship for students. So we will look at that and you will not be disenrolled from classes. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Kim. Or sorry, Kim. Sorry, I just read that Kim had the thing and then I meant to say thank you, Ku. My bad. Sorry, everybody. Okay. Thank you so much, Ku. But yes, and then to follow up with that, I know that we had another question. We have two more questions on here. And one is about how to figure out if you can afford housing after looking at your FAFSA. Not to worry, we will be going over that during Summer Bridge in our estimated budget worksheet, and you'll be looking over that with an advisor, so you won't be doing that alone. And as Ku had mentioned, do not pay any fees or anything at this moment. We are going to look over that packaging that you have if you have financial aid, which is why it is so important you do your to-do list items in your MySSU account. Please take a look at those to-do list items. If you do not fulfill those to-do list items, then you're holding up your financial aid package if you have filled out a FAFSA. So that's all on hold. You don't want to do that with your money. You want to make sure that everything goes through smooth, okay? So please make sure you're checking to see if you have to-do list items or not. If you have not activated your SSU account, you absolutely need to do that. It is essential to make sure you have the correct financial packaging that we can actually get that going for you so that we can help you during Summer Bridge with figuring out housing and funding and all that good stuff, okay? So it all goes together. And then lastly, I think there was one other small thing about class registration. Not to worry about the classes that you are pre-registered or pre-enrolled for, or the classes that you need to enroll in. You will be doing that with your advisor during Summer Bridge. So we will go over detail what courses you're pre-enrolled in and what courses you still need and should select, okay? So not to worry too much on that. We will be doing that on July 1st, okay? So I think we're good to go here. I think we've answered all the questions and whatnot. Any final thoughts from the panelists?
Just something to add. I know there was a last question regarding DSP reminders. If you already completed DSP and you're getting a reminder, please disregard it. I think there's a glitch in the system that even though you have completed it, it's still sending you those reminders. So just please disregard them.
Great, thanks, Jesus.
And I'll go ahead and just add the Zoom link again for folks who would like to join us to take a picture. Thank you. And Dr. Jones, would you like to close us out, please?
Absolutely. I just want to say to all the students, you received a lot of information today and your head is probably spinning, but that's okay because the staff, we're all here to help you navigate through this. So do not hesitate. Don't feel like you need to know all this today. Reach out, communicate to the staff, communicate to your advisors. Use the Summer Bridge email that we have in place for you. We will be responsive. Check in with us. We are here to help you not only navigate Summer Bridge, but as I said earlier, to help you successfully transition into Sonoma State University. So put us to the task, test us out, see if we don't do our part. I guarantee you, we will rise to the occasion because we're all invested and committed in your success. So once again, on behalf of Sonoma State University, the EOP, the Porta, our DSS, our advising staff, our faculty, our Summer Bridge leaders, blessings and welcome to the, I was gonna say welcome to the hood, but welcome to the program.
And with that, we'll go ahead and end our Zoom webinar, our Summer Bridge onboarding. Please join us for a picture with the Zoom link that I shared. Thank you, panelists, everyone for joining us. Thank you, students. Have a wonderful evening. We hope to see you at their Zoom room.